Harper to arrive. He usually joined Holder for coffee at 9 o'clock, but by 10 o'clock, he still hadn't shown.
When he was about a half an hour late, there was a joint decision to have Wayne Holder go by their motorhome and see what the problem was.
Putting his own life at risk, Holder headed for the suspect's trailer. Outside, he ran into Rivas and learned that Harper was in the shower and planned to come down later.
Rivas was real talkative that morning. I was looking inside his Jeep, trying to see if there was any guns or anything.
Then Holder noticed that the brown van was missing.
He told me that Murphy and Newberry, Ronnie and Mike, were down in the Springs.
We had good news and bad news. The good news is that they did not seem to be tipped off to the fact that law enforcement was on them. But the bad news is it looked like at least one, if not more of them, were now out of pocket, and we had no idea where they were.
At 10:30, sharpshooters reported that 3 of the fugitives were heading down the hill in their Jeep Cherokee.
That got the tension up because a very quick decision had to be made as to whether to try to stop that Jeep in the middle of the RV park or to let it go and see if they could stop it at a safer place.
With people everywhere, Fuselier, Anderson, and Fenn decided it was too dangerous to challenge the men as they drove in the park.
When you get suspects, particularly suspects we knew were heavily armed, moving, the likelihood of a negotiated situation was very low.
The first part of the operation was blown. Now, SWAT would have to improvise a new plan while on the move. But could they capture the fugitives without a deadly firefight?
Share your day.
The Texas-7 are discovered at a Colorado trailer park. But law enforcement's plan to capture the fugitives must suddenly change when 3 of them drive out of the park. Now, it was up to the El Paso County Mobile Assault Team to get them.
Just by chance, we had practiced high-risk vehicle assaults, so there was no doubt in our minds that our people were capable of doing it.
Rivas, Garcia, and Rodriguez pulled out onto Highway 24. Just down the road, the El Paso County SWAT team was waiting.
Please be advised, suspect vehicles are now eastbound.
The SWAT team began tailing the escapees with Sheriff Anderson following behind. Then, just a short way down the road, the gang pulled into the Western Gas and Convenience Store.
The realization set in that this is the place to do this. We're controlling it. There's only 2 avenues of escape. This is going to happen right here and right now and very, very suddenly.
The SWAT team moved with speed and precision to box in the fugitive's vehicle.
Sheriff's office, let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! Sheriff's office! Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! Get your hands up! Hands up! All the way! Don't move! Now! Don't move! Let me see your hands! Raise your hands! Hands up! All the way!
No sooner than it came to a stop, our SWAT team had surrounded the vehicle. I mean, it happened instantly. I just remember going through my mind, well, I hope these are the guys.
Rivas was pulled out of the car first.
Hands behind your back.
Rodriguez surrendered.
On your tummy, on your tummy, on your tummy.
But Garcia refused to budge.
He was staring straight ahead, and he had his hands up in somewhat of a surrender position. He kept just wiggling his fingertips.
Keep your hands up. Come out of the car. Come out of the car. Don't move.
During later interviews, he had stated that he thought he could take one of the SWAT members out.
Turned out that there was 14 weapons located in the vehicle itself. They had guns in fanny packs. They had holster ankles with guns.
In the back of the Jeep Cherokee, at the scene, we found the 9mm Glock that had been taken from Officer Hawkins when he was murdered. I had the privilege of having a front row seat to witness the takedown by my SWAT team of 3 of the most deadly killers in America, and it's a moment I'll not forget.
Rivas, Rodriguez, and Garcia were taken to the Teller County Jail. But the cops knew that their work was far from over. 4 of the Texas-7 were still on the loose. Back at the Coachlight RV park, SWAT began to tighten the noose around the fugitives. As they headed up the steep ridge to the trailer, each officer knew the risks.
they're looking down on us. With the weapons they have, which are pretty much equal to what we have, it's a bad, bad feeling.
At the same time, Sheriff Fenn and 7 SWAT members made their way up the hill. They drove within 100 feet of the suspect's trailer.
We saw at least 2 subjects moving the curtains, moving the blinds.
The SWAT members cautiously dispersed around the criminal's trailer. Once all the officers were in position, Fuselier got on the microphone.
This is the FBI. You are surrounded. Come out with your hands over your head.
10, 15, 20 minutes ticked by, and still no response. Then finally...
Coming out, don't hurt me.
You heard someone yelling, "I'm coming out, don't hurt me." I want to come out, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. Shortly after that, Halpern ended up coming out of the RV.
Walk down the stairs, keep your hands above your head. Walk down the stairs. Walk down the stairs, turn away from my voice. Turn around the other way, turn around the other way.
And then he backed towards us
Step back toward my
so that he was under control of the agent that was giving him commands.
Come with me.
Once Halpern was in custody, he was taken into the RV and questioned by FBI agent Dwayne Fuselier.
Larry Harper.
What kind of weapons are in?
He told Fuselier that Larry Harper was still inside and was heavily armed.
Every once in a while, you could see Harper move back and forth from the RV, just going from the front to the back to the front to the back.
We felt it in our hearts that he was not going to come out of that trailer alive. The shooting of Aubrey Hocken and whatnot, I just don't think he could take it.
At 12:45, officers on the inner perimeter heard a muffled sound that sounded like a gunshot, but no one was sure.
They continued to see movement inside the RV.
Subsequently, one of my officers said they heard a scream, a moan, and then a second gunshot.
Mr. Harper, the last of the 5 that we came across today, committed suicide at approximately 12:40 this afternoon.
There was a suicide note. The note basically said Harper was sorry for the death of Officer Hawkins and apologized to his family for what he had done.
5 of the Texas-7 were now accounted for. Law enforcement now turned their attention to finding Murphy and Newbury, the last 2 fugitives still on the loose.
We had no idea where they were. All we had was the description of the brown van.
A description of the van was broadcast by the media and led to its discovery in nearby Colorado Springs.
The Hungry Farmers general manager called police when he saw the van inside his business's parking lot.
We went over and looked inside the windows and saw that the keys were still in the ignition. There were duffel bags in the back.
Law enforcement immediately descended on the parking lot. A search of the van turned up a bottle of hair dye and receipts showing the purchase of body armor. But they could find no trace of the men. Then, about 6:45 p.m., the Colorado Springs police received a tip from the night shift clerk at the Holiday Inn. A suspicious man had checked in the night before. Detective Jim Stinson, a Colorado Springs homicide detective, followed up on the lead.
She said that he had a blue hooded shirt on and didn't come in through the front door, he came in through a side door.
The man insisted on a first-floor room. Stinson believed that this could be one of the fugitives. Then he called in SWAT. They quickly set up a perimeter around the hotel and then cautiously approached the suspect's room. There was no answer. At 8:15 p.m., Detective Stinson made a phone call to the